Okay, super. So guys, we are actually on w3schools.com trying to understand how to work with Bootstrap while on this w3schools.com. So just click on Learn Bootstrap. Then we can just click on Bootstrap 4. We are actually working with Bootstrap 4. And remember, I've just created a project, and on my lesson 6, I've linked to the bootstrap.main.css file. Then real quick, as you can see, it's right here, and here's my lesson 6. So I've created a number of buttons right here. Then the first button, I've given it BTN primary. This is a Bootstrap class. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get to Bootstrap on W3 schools. Then let me go to BS4 buttons right here. So these guys are telling us on W3 schools that if you wanted a button to look like this, yeah, you see, you give it like this is the primary one, here is the primary one. So you give it a class BTN primary, and that's exactly what I have done right here. BTN primary. So I expect this button to look green in color. So if I wanted this one here, I will give it which class? If I wanted the secondary one, I'll give it BTN secondary. Yeah, then let me just give it class BTN secondary. BTN secondary. Then the about one, you can give it class BTN info, something like that. Then this one I can give it class BTN BTN something like warning. Yeah, these are Bootstrap classes. I know they move ahead, but it's something that we can refer from W3 schools. So class BTN, something like BTN danger, something like that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, if I just try to run these, yeah, so to run these, I'm simply going to click on the icons right up here. So there is an icon for Google Chrome. I've actually installed Chrome on my computer, so let me just click on it. Then definitely it's going to run in the browser. Yeah, so for a few seconds, let it run. Automatically it picked, no, that was Firefox. So it's going to learn to launch with Firefox. And as you can see, I've easily created those buttons right there without any much ado, any further ado. Yeah. So that's how I can do that. Then I can just try to separate these with a horizontal rule. Yeah, horizontal rule, so that I can continue coding right down here other elements in Bootstrap. Now, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, having looked at that, so you see we have also BS4 button groups, and clearly you see once you link to Bootstrap, you can easily even just come here and like lift this code. You see, this is an example code. So if you were coding something, I could just come here, lift this code, yeah, lift that code and place it right here. And when I place that code right there, you see it is just a div. I hope you guys have learned how to work with divs. It's just a div, then BTN group. That's a Bootstrap class, which is automatically going to make these buttons as a group of buttons. Yeah. Then clearly, when I just try to refresh these, when I refresh these, you see these are button group, and clearly there is a thin horizontal rule line right here. There's a real thin horizontal rule line right there. Yeah. Then having done that, I can even have another horizontal rule. Let me look at a different property. For as long as you've connected to Bootstrap, ladies and gentlemen, everything else has been provided. So if I wanted these kind of buttons, like this BTN group, then the buttons are going to be large. Yeah, the buttons are going to be large. If I worked with these, this is going to be a large kind of a button group. Yeah, so once I put it right there, I can simply refresh. Let me see. Yeah, here's another horizontal row, and you see these buttons. This is a button group, and the buttons are large. So clearly, as you can see, they are just using BTN primary, BTN primary, BTN primary. You can choose to use BTN, maybe primary, BTN, maybe warning, And this last one could be between danger. Between danger. So that right away, if I just refresh these, yeah, you see, yeah, this between danger, between warning, and this is between primary. Yeah. So once you have W3 schools, Bootstrap becomes the most straightforward things you can ever think of working with. Yeah. Then also there's these something called BS4 badges. Yeah. So you can design your website and you want maybe to have something like these. Yeah, these are badge. These are badge. And here are examples. As a matter of fact, I can just lift. I can lift these examples. Then you can see how they're going to work. How they are going to work. How they are going to work. Yeah, so let me just put some horizontal rules here and let me use a badge. Let me use those badges there. Yeah, so clearly if I can just yeah, do like that, you see all these are just badges. There is nothing to type even. It is all provided. It is all provided. It's actually all provided right there. All right, so we can also look at how to work with progress bars in Bootstrap. Yeah, progress bars. All right, so progress bars, yeah, we also just need to have a div, yeah, like this. So as a matter of fact, let's just lift this progress bar, then take it to our code. Like for example, let me just break this a bit with a horizontal rule so that we can notice the difference. So that if I go and refresh, if I just go and refresh after putting that there, you will see right down here that we have a horizontal rule that is taking 70% of the screen. Yeah, as you can see, the width is 70%. If I wanted this to be something like 20%, I can just edit that. Yeah, then once I refresh this is definitely, sorry, yeah, 20%. Yeah, when I refresh these, yeah, this, as you can see, takes 20%, 20%. But again, this progress bar has automatically a size up to it has got maybe an entire width up to the end there. Yeah. So progress bars are also so straightforward. For as long as we have connected to Bootstrap, we can always lift the code. Yeah, we can always lift the code. Yeah, we can always lift the code. And clearly, you see, we have a number of examples right down here when you scroll down. Yeah, you see, if you wanted a blue progress bar, you can always lift these progress bar here. But if you wanted all of these, like for example, I can just take the entire progress bars. If I wanted to use all of them, yeah, if I wanted to use all of them, I can just copy that code. Then on whichever page that I'm working with, like say right down there, let me just paste. Yeah, when I paste, you see I've pasted a number of them. If you're on W3 schools with me, you can see that all those codes are right there. Yeah, so if I go and refresh, real quick, you can see all of them right there. I've actually just pasted all of them right here. And you see there's these, as in different colors. Yeah, different colors. And it is as easy as that, guys. Yeah, simply lift the code because it is on W3 schools. Yeah, then there's even this stripped version. Yeah, you can always get a stripped one. Yeah, like if I just lift this code, then let me just separate with a horizontal rule right here. Yeah, then if I just paste it right there, you see I've simply lifted that code. But you see, if I just come and refresh, if this was our website, you see this progress bar right down here. Yeah, it is actually stripped. And this is of which class primary. You see, this is a progress bar stripped. Yeah, it is actually right there. So what other guidance are these guys giving us? They're telling us that if you wanted it to be uh, they are even giving us uh, they're giving us an example of how to do something like this. Yeah, so if I just lift these, copy that, and Let me just separate this with a horizontal rule so that we can notice the difference. If I just put it right there, you will see this is progress bar with BG success. Yeah, this one here, I can also give it some BG, maybe say warning. Yeah, the stripped one. Let me see if that works. Yeah, so if I refresh these, yeah, you see this is a stripped with BG warning, as we have just changed it from primary. But again, this bottom one is having uh, such like a progress bar, such like a progress bar, progress bar. So some of these things you don't even really need to code them from scratch, because all the information has been provided for. As long as you know how to lift that code, you can really create such a beautiful website. Yeah, so let me separate with a HR so that we can look at the next element, yeah, or the next feature in Bootstrap. Yeah, yeah, so someone is asking about moving these elements from the margin. Yeah, we are actually about to look at the concept of uh, how to work with divisions or columns in Bootstrap. Yeah, we are yet to come to that, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, just in a few we'll be looking at that. We will be looking at exactly that. We'll be looking at exactly that. We will be looking at exactly that. Yeah. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, having looked at working with the progress bars, I'm very sure some of you now are seeing Bootstrap to be very straightforward, very straightforward. So there is another thing called spinners, but these spinners, we are going to work with it in a better way when we start looking at how to work with JavaScript in Bootstrap, because right now this animation, you see how this is working. This animation can only work if we have JavaScript connected to our Bootstrap. We are yet to come to that, guys. It is just when we are looking at how to work with Bootstrap. Yeah. Then uh, another thing that we can look at without Bootstrap is maybe these BS4 cards. BS4 cards. Yeah, something like this. But even before we look at BS4 cards, ladies and gentlemen, let us first look at how to work with BS4 images, because as you can see, these guys are implementing an image, but I haven't shown you guys on how to work with an image first. So where's BS4 images? BS4 images. BS4 images. Where are you? BS4 images. BS4 images. Right here. Yeah, let us look at how to work with BS4 images. BS4 images. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because we would like to work with images in Bootstrap, we would love to work with images in Bootstrap. Yeah, let us try to go and get at least just 3 images, for example, and those 3 images we will try to work with them in these lesson 6. Yeah, but even before we get the images, let us start by creating an images folder or a resources folder. So real quick, we can just create something called a new directory. So a directory is as good as saying a folder in HTML or in web development. So these directory, let us call it as maybe resources directory. So once I just create it like that, hit on an OK or an enter. So I'm saying just right click on your project, say new directory. Then let's just call this as resources. Hit enter. Hit enter like that. Then we have our resources directory right there. So real quick, we can go get a number of images. So real quick, let's just go get images. So right here, let me get to my computer and see if I can get a number of images. On the download section, can I get a number of images? Let me get inside the random downloads and see if I can get a number of images. Yeah, right here I can get a number. Yeah, so let me just copy at least how many. Let me work with at least 3. Let me copy the laptop. Let me also copy maybe this woofer. Let me copy the television. So just copy that, then I can even close this folder. Then on our resources folder, let me paste then I can just simply say okay or refactor. Now, as a matter of fact, my images are right inside here. But you see, if my image has got a long name, I can easily come to my image, right click, and do something called refactor, rename, to change the name of the image. If the image has a very complicated name that can give me trouble when it comes to naming it inside my project. Yeah, so refactor, rename. Refactor, rename, like that. Yeah, so real quick, after having done that, ladies and gentlemen, so let us go and get lift and a BS4 images code. What are they telling us? They're telling us we just need something like this, and as a matter of fact, it is just simply an img tag. Yeah, and we just give it class rounded, like that. Yeah, then the alternative text, we can put there anything that we wish. Yeah, so real quick, it is just an img tag, so img, then hit on a tab on my keyboard. Yeah, so the src, so my images are inside the resources / I can start with the laptop.png. Yeah, then the alternative text is, maybe I can just say my laptop. The alternative text will play the role of, if the image doesn't show, this text shows, probably for some reason or another. Maybe we have not referenced correctly right here. Yeah, this is the name that will display. This is yeah, this is supposed to display. Yeah, then so real quick, I can just give it a class uh, class img. You can say img rounded. img rounded. If we are not wrong, let's see how that appears. Yeah, this is our image. This image doesn't show clear edges. Let me see. Yes, doesn't show clear edges. So yeah, I've opted to change the image. So let me use Nairobi city image. I've copied that image and pasted it inside the resources directory. Yeah, so that if I just refresh these, let me see. It is right here. Does it have rounded corners? Let me see how I expect it to look like. The one with rounded corners needs to look something like this, but this is the circular one. I think the circular one can be of more, this is rounded circle, rounded circle, rounded circle. And I don't even think we should start with IMG like that. I think we can just give it rounded circle like that, so that if I refresh this browser of ours, let me see. Yeah, just rounded circle like that. You don't need to start with IMG. So some of you are wondering how to have rounded images. Yeah, you see how that looks like? Then which one also? There is the one that looks like a thumbnail. Yeah, and then there's the one that has got rounded corners. So the one that looks like a thumbnail is IMG thumbnail. IMG thumbnail. So let me also create another image. Let me create another IMG tag, IMG tab. Then inside the resources, then use the woofer image. Then the alternative text could be maybe my woofer. Yeah, woofer. Then I can give it maybe a class to be IMG thumbnail. Yeah, the IMG, I know that woofer is too big. It is a very big image, but if you are very keen with the edges, you can see the thumbnailness. Yeah, you can see the thumbnailness there. Yeah, so clearly this is just how I've done that. Yeah, so all the best to everyone who has attempted the card. So real quick, let me finish up with you guys this on this, then we can move on to the very next thing. So right at the bottom here, let me just put a HR right there and say, yeah, this is my div. I've pasted my div right there, which is a card. Yeah. Then the image. So the SRC, I'm only supposed to change the SRC. So SRC is inside resources slash maybe television. Then this is maybe I can simply say my TV. Alternative text would be my TV. Something like that. So that if I refresh, I'm expecting that everything works as I desire. Yeah, here is my card down here. So this is my television and it is on a card. Yeah. Yeah, you see, I can even click on see profile right here. Yeah, leave alone with this woofer. These are a too big image that I haven't fixed the width and the height. Yeah, but if I did, you will see it change. You will see it change. Yeah, but in the meantime, here is our card and it is working as desired, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you haven't attempted that, please do. Now, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, so I would love us to look at how to work with the grid system. The grid system. Yeah, when I talk about the grid system, this is it. Where is it? PS4 grid. How to subdivide the screen. Yeah, how to subdivide the screen using columns. Yeah, using the columns. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to create another HTML file. Let's just create another HTML file on our project real quick. Create a new HTML file. This HTML file, we can call it as maybe grid. I can even call it as maybe lesson 6 grid. Yeah, something like that. Lesson 6 grid. Yeah, lesson 6 grid. Then I can call these as maybe gallery, something like that. I mean, gallery. Yeah, lesson 6 grid. Just ensure that you have created that, guys, so I can show you how we can divide up our screen using Bootstrap. All right. Yeah, so real quick, guys, if you have your project created like that, yeah, we can say this is gallery. Then you see, this is what these guys are telling us on the grid basic. They're telling us we are going to use these classes. Yeah, Bootstrap has got about 5 classes. So on the extra small screens, we'll be ensuring that we use this class called .call. Yeah, you see, whenever you see a dot, it means this is a class. Yeah. So on extra small devices, we are just going to be using these. Yeah. And the extra small screens are of maybe the screens with less than 576 pixels width. Yeah. Then on the small screen or on the small devices, we are going to be using call SM. And on the medium screen, we are going to be using these. And on the large screen, we are going to be using these. And on the extra large screen, we are going to be using XL. So in Bootstrap 4, we are only going to work with 5 classes. 5 classes. Yeah. If you learned about more classes in other Bootstrap versions, in this Bootstrap 4, we are going to use we are going to use 5 classes. 5 classes. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the basic structure they are telling us. You need to start by creating a div of class row. And without writing with saliva when we have the ink with us, let us just go right away to the point and start writing using the ink itself. Now, so real quick, let's create maybe a div, the first div. Let's create the first div, div. Let's call this div, let's give it class row. That's what they're expecting us to work with. Then I would like us to create, to divide this screen, this div into four different portions on a medium screen. And remember, they have told us that on a medium screen we use MD. Yeah. So one of the very key things that you need to understand is whenever you want to divide up a screen, whenever you want to divide up a screen into four or into columns, whenever you give your div in Bootstrap as class row, this means this div automatically is going to be subdivided into 12 subdivisions, yeah, or 12 spans, yeah. So you see right now, uh, these, it will be divided into 12 columns. 12 columns. Bootstrap's grid system is built with Flexbox and allows up to 12 columns. Yeah. So immediately we create this row. This is automatically 12 columns. So if we want to divide it into 4 divs, let me have 4 divs. So div times 4. Div times 4, then hit tab on my keyboard. Tab on my keyboard. See, I have 4 divs. Yeah, I have 4 divs, and as a matter of fact, I can just have, like, say, a paragraph here saying maybe first div. Yeah, then, and because definitely I want to be orderly, I can just ensure that I hit on an enter so that the, the paragraph can be inside that div. Then the second div also, I can have a paragraph saying maybe second div. Then I can also have the third one here, which can also have a P tab. Then I can have these maybe third div. Then the fourth one here, I can say P tab. Then I can just say maybe fourth div. But remember, even as the fact that we are giving our div 4 subdivisions, this is the first subdivision, this is the second subdivision, this is the third subdivision, and this is the fourth subdivision. So we want to divide it using Bootstrap. And as a matter of fact, because we are giving it div row, we need to first of all link it to Bootstrap. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Link it to Bootstrap. So I'm linking it to Bootstrap main, like that. Thank you, Clarence. Yeah, thank you, Clarence. Yeah. So real quick, we have connected our HTML file to Bootstrap, and we have our first div starting here, guys, and it is ending down here. And this div, if you look at it, it has 4 subdivisions: first div, second div, third div, and the fourth div. And if you want to see this div subdivided correctly, if you want to see this div subdivided correctly, is first of all, let's just give this div the divisions. And remember, these 4 divisions, must fit into 12 columns, must fit into 12 columns. So let me start by giving the first one class. So columns, we are being told on a medium screen, take 3. Just take 3. On a medium screen, take 3. Then this second one, also class, columns, on a medium screen, take 3 again. Then this one again, class, columns, on a medium screen, take 3 again. Then this last one, class, columns, on a medium screen, take 3 again. Take 3. Take 3. So that means uh, that means this div is going to take 3 columns. So if this was an entire screen, the first div will start from, like, say, here to somewhere like here. Then the second div will start from there, take another 3 columns up to somewhere there. The other div take over another 3 columns up to, like, say, there. And the last one take another 3 columns up to the end. So clearly say this is called MD3. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, it adds up to 12. It adds up to 12. So on a medium screen, specifically on a medium screen, we have ensured that we take care of 12, because we have ensured that every div is taking 3. Every div is taking 3 columns. every div is taking 3 columns. Yeah. Now, what is going to happen if I gave this one here something like, say, 2? If I gave this one something like, say, 2, that means this is 3 plus 2, 5, plus 6, plus 6, 8, plus 3, 8, plus these 3, 11. So that means this is not going to add up to 12. So somehow I must have, it is either I increase something like, say, 4 to add up to 12, or if this is 3, probably I create another div. I create another div to give it the 1 column. Yeah, so maybe I can say paragraph and say fifth div. Then this one here, I can give it class columns on a medium screen. Maybe just take 1 so that we finally utilize the 12 on a medium screen. Yeah, we finally utilize